And just put the nose down just a hair so you can pick up a little airspeed. There you go. So, as soon as we get to 55, we want to start to rotate because once the wind is pushing us across the runway and the wheels are dragging sideways, and that's what all that vibration was. Okay, so we're airborne. We're above the trees. And there's a little bit of traffic out here today, but our desired heading was 166 to get to ditch. So it's a little bit to the left. And as soon as we get out of the pattern here, I'm just gonna, as soon as we get away from McGuire's airspace and we're well clear of it, we'll just go right to coil. Save yourself a little bit of time. So we want to be on a heading of 166 right now.
All right.
So it's just a little bit to the right. And don't worry about this. Just focus on this one for a minute, and if it's off, I'll give you a little bit of a vector. But you're doing fine on the airspeed. That looks good.
Bumpy as hell.
What's that?
Bumpy as hell.
I can't hear you.
It was bumpy as hell.
Oh yeah, it's bumpy, definitely. Yeah, today's one of those days that it's a little bumpier and windier than normal. It's not that bumpy though. I wouldn't have let you take off without my hands being a little closer to the yoke, so. That looks good. That'll get us over to ditch. And we'll go up to like 2,000 feet, ought to do it. When we get to 2,000, we can pull the power back just a hair. And just a little bit to the right. Let's go about 20 degrees right. Like 160 will do it.
Trying to hold it at 160. We keep getting.
Yeah. So if it's the wind is blowing you from the wind was like 240, right? So it's pushing you that way. So you might have to turn to 170 to hold one. There you go. Just that's perfect right there. 165-ish. Yeah, it's a little bumpy up here, but nothing. This is nothing crazy. Watch your airspeed. We're bleeding off below 65 there, 75. We're not in a hurry to get up there, so if you just want to climb at like 500 feet per minute, we'll be fine.
Flying W traffic, 65480, turning crosswind, runway 19, flying W.
Approach Skyhawk 555 Gulf Whiskey.
Skyhawk 555 Golf Whiskey, McGuire approach from altimeter 2996, safe position and intention.
5 Gulf Whiskey just departed South Jersey. We're headed for coil. We'd like to shoot 3 ILS
We're 2,000.
at Palms River.
November 5 Golf Whiskey, squawk 0422.
0422.
Trying to keep an eye on this other guy. Okay, so now we're at 2,000. We're going to pull the power back to about just the bottom of the green arc, maybe 21 or 22.
November 2 Papa Bravo, descend and maintain 3,000.
There you go.
And cleared direction.
Now we just want to put the level down.
Down to 3,000.
Put the level down, the nose down.
November
But
5
don't try to
Whiskey,
trim it down because
contact.
you'll never get it. Just put the nose down to where it needs to go. And then you probably just need a really small amount of trim. You can't fly this plane with trim. You can, I always see people like, they're just constantly trying to trim it. You'll never get it perfect. Just put it where you want to go, and then just take a little pressure off with the trim. So, see what that feels like. And if you need to trim it, put it where you want, and then just decide, does the trim need to go up or down a little bit. So we're still climbing right now, so I don't know if you have that. Let me just grab this real quick, my plane. So there's a little bit of upward pressure, but not much. So let's just hold it at, 2350 here and see what that feels like. And we got a little bit more power here. Break out. That doesn't feel too bad. And you're going to get bounced around a little bit, so you're going to have to accept some minor deviation. You'll never be able to trim out all this thermal activity. And I see people out here all the time trying to like trim up, trim down, and you're basically flying through hot and cold air all day. On a day like today, like there might be really hot air over the trees or over these farms, and it's dropping 10 feet away. So We're going to use the VOR now. So we're already set to 113.4. And all we do is turn this thing so we get a 2 indication down here. So now it says 2. The arrow's on the 2 side. And now we just center it. And it tells you that you want to fly a heading of 110. Actually, it says 105. So I'm gonna redo this so it's not set, and I'll let you do it. So just look out the window, see where we are, try to maintain 2500, and then just try to first get the 2 indication. You're doing it right. You're looking out the window, you're looking at your airspeed indicator, or your altimeter, and then you're looking back down. That's right. You just got to do 2 things at once here for a minute. There you go. So now you got 2, and just turn it some more until you get it centered. There you go. So just hold on right there. That's it. So it says 100. So now let's just look up here real quick. That says we're flying a heading. You're turning though, so that's going to screw us all up. Just straight and level. It says we're flying 180 right now. So we'll recenter that. And to get to that, to get to coil from here, we have to turn to 100, which is over here. So just start a turn to 100, and you'll find yourself en route to coil VOR. And just try to hold 2500 here. That's fine, Leo. This is gotten a little smoother up here. Yeah. Until you get above this cloud layer, it's going to be pretty bumpy probably. And we're not going above it, so. Just keep bringing it around till you get to 100. And then when you get there, we're going to make a little adjustment because it's probably by the amount of time it took to turn, we've flown through the radial. So now it says we're off a little bit, so we can just recenter it. Now it says you should be flying, it looks like 090, so just try going 090 now and see if that thing will stay centered. And guess what? There's coil straight in front of me, that patch of dirt way out there. Is that what that is? Just to the left of it is a really, really small thing that you probably can just barely see, but that's the VOR.
That thing?
No, there's a dirt patch way out there, and just to the left of it, there's a really small area that looks like some more clearing. That's probably the VOR right there. So just try and keep this centered now. If the needle goes that way, you fly just 5 or 10 degrees to the needle till it centers. But right now, you're on the right course. And the wind is coming from 240, so it's probably pushing you a little that way, so you might want to turn 5 degrees to the right, which you already did, it looks like. So maybe fly 100. This is what you're flying right now, so let me just readjust this for you, 110. That's actually pretty good right there. Yeah, you can pull that back a little, that'll save you a little beating up there. So the VORs in these student airplanes sometimes are not absolutely perfect, but this one seems like it's working okay right now. And we can also put it into the GPS. The GPS is telling us the same thing, but we're not going to use that right now. I'm just going to turn that off. Actually, that's not coil. That's coil, sorry. So now this thing is telling us to turn a little bit to the right. So just turn 10 degrees to the right and let it center again.
To the right or to the left?
Sorry, to the left. Sorry. We're losing a little bit of altitude. So you can pick an altitude you want to stay at. There's nothing the matter with where we are right now. So yeah, that's actually coil in front of us right there. So now it says it's on, the course is moving a little bit to that side, so we want to just turn a little bit to the left to intercept it. And it's probably the wind right now, so I wouldn't turn too much. Just hold that course. So now we know we're not going toward it because we're 30, 45 degrees off of what we can see. So that says east. Here's your problem though, this thing is off somehow. So just fly straight and level for a minute, and let's get this thing settled down. My GPS says we're flying 071 right now, so I'm going to put that in there. Now try to turn to a heading of 09. Actually, nope, it's still a little bit off. Yeah, it looks like east, so just turn to 090. But I think we need to ignore this thing.
I'm going by the...
Yeah, go by the DG, and I'll try and reset it every couple minutes for you. There you go. So now I'm comfortable that this thing and my GPS are kind of jiving, because I can see the VOR, and you're headed right toward it.
Yeah.
That's really all there is to VOR navigation, except, you know, eventually you'll be trying to do it in the clouds. So watch your altitude, because we're descending really rapidly here. You can stay at 2,000 if you want, because as soon as we get there, we're going to do an outbound course to KMJX.
With the wind being 240, we go with runway 6?
We'll go up there and have a look. We'll get to ATIS in a minute, and we also want to make sure nobody's landing the different directions, but it looks like runway... Oh, so if the wind's out at 240, we want to land into 240, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, be the opposite of 6. So now we're getting closer and closer to VOR. And as we get closer, this thing gets sensitive, and